He's been a huge contributor to Suffolk County Wrestling in many different areas. As a wrestler, as a middle school coach, as an assistant coach, as a head coach, as a principal, as an athletic director, and as a parent. He started his career as an assistant coach in Floral Park in the 80s and got his first full-time teaching job at a little 7th through 9th grade school out east called South Manor. He immediately started an intramural wrestling program there. The next year, they had a full middle school team, and this is where our relationship started, because South Manor sent their wrestlers to West Hampton Beach in 10th grade, and they were always well prepared. When Eastport South Manor built their high school, Mac became the first varsity head coach and promptly won the first Division II Suffolk County tournament in 2000. Bob McIntyre is truly the father of Eastport South Manor Wrestling. And no, Matt, I had that written beforehand. The next year, he went to Port Jefferson to begin his administrative career as athletic director and helped expand a wrestling program there. In 2006, he became the principal for East Mauritius Middle School, where he spearheaded the policy to have exceptional athletes be allowed to go through the selection classification process and compete on varsity, something the East Mauritius Board of Education had not previously allowed. This policy helped wrestlers and other athletes at West Hampton Beach, at Eastport, and Santa Mauritius high schools. Wrestlers, well, there's a very short list of names that you know. Wrestlers who benefited from this policy were Jordan Titus, Nick Garone, and Liam and Gavin McIntyre, just to name a few. In 2010, Bob became the athletic director for Bellport Clippers, where he would end his career after 13 years of doing things right and creating a kids-first culture. When asked about Coach Max from Bellport said, and I quote, "Mac is a very supportive AD. He's truly in it for the right reasons. Kids always come first. He is also a constant voice of reason and always positive. He always says, don't come to me to complain about a problem, come to me with a solution." As an AD, he was a Conference 2 officer and president for 2 years. He also served on the Modified Committee, Eligibility Committee, Safety Committees, as well as the Athletic Council, where he always pushed for what was best for kids. This year, he was named New York State Administrator of the Year. Having Bob as a parent in our program helped lift our program to new heights. I wish all coaches could have a parent like him. It makes coaching fun and enjoyable. Watching him battle a rare form of tonsil cancer this year made me respect him even more, if that's even possible. He has battled like a true wrestler. He never made excuses, he just figured out a way to get through treatments, eat, and get it done. Bob, it's been an honor to coach with you, coach against you, and have you as a parent in my program. But most of all, it's been an honor to call you a friend. As Coach Nappy would say, you are my brother from another mother. Bob McIntyre, Grandmaster.
Thanks, Coach Bass. Don Murray, thank you for inviting me tonight. Don told me, since I had been out in the fall, had a little cancer thing going on. And thank you, by the way, the Coaches Association for sending a gift card and their love and just all their support. I really didn't expect this. I am not a Grandmaster. A Grandmaster to me is some of these lifelong coaches that have been in the room their whole life. What I am is a product of wrestling. And I wish some of the people were here that I'm going to mention that I would like to thank. My high school coach, Tony Perna, a lot of you guys in the room, Bill, Chris, they know Coach Perna really well. And he gave me the sport of wrestling. And I was a very average, in the lineup guy. I was moved around in weight classes probably 3-4 times during the season to help us win a dual meet. And during my senior year, my dad, we were kind of a blue-collar family. My dad needed me to work. So I took a job unloading trucks at Pathmark in Smithtown, which was 7 miles from my house. And I would run there after practice and hitchhike a little bit, and run home and hitchhike a little bit. And Coach Perna noticed that I was not the same guy in the room anymore. And he brought me in the office and he asked me what was going on, and he said, something's wrong. And I said, well, I have to work. You know, I promised my dad I'd work. And he said, well, I'll tell you what, how about I make you a promise? I'll make you a promise that I'll get you money to wrestle in college. I was not that good. And I said, well, I would love that, but you're gonna have to talk to my dad. And he brought my dad in, and he promised my dad that I would get more money to wrestle in college than I would ever make unloading trucks at Pathmark in the middle of the night. So I honestly think he probably lost a bet to Coach Jerry Goodfellow, because you guys all know Goody, and he was the head coach at CW Post when I went there, and he gave me a little bit of money to be on that wrestling team. That changed my life. Truly changed my life. I became a varsity wrestling coach very quickly after that, or varsity assistant at Floral Park. I got my job in South Manor in 1989. They didn't have wrestling, they didn't have football, they didn't have lacrosse, so I coached soccer, which was sad. But they allowed me to start a wrestling program. And when I started that wrestling program, right away there were local coaches, like Coach Fitzgerald from Hampton Bays, who said, bring your team to our tournament, we'd love to have you. Rocky Davey, who was the phys ed teacher before me at South Manor, he said, bring your kids over to Riverhead, we'd love to have them. And then Paul Bass met me and he said, bring your kids to West Hampton, because I'm gonna have them. And that became our feeder. Our kids went to West Hampton, Center Riches, and Eastport, neither one of them had a wrestling program. And all of a sudden, I was Coach Mack in South Manor with my own wrestling program. It was really, really cool. Even though it was only the middle school level to start, it was awesome. We wrestled Sachem, wrestled the guys over at Sagamore, we beat them, and they were like, where's Manor? Is that like in Connecticut or something? I said, nope. And I say all this because I've been blessed my whole life with opportunity. People who believed in me and gave me a chance, and I made a life out of it. After South Manor, when we merged with Eastport, we won a league title. In fact, Coach Marino, who was honored here earlier tonight, we wrestled them for a league title. We won with about 1 match left. That guy was the classiest person I ever seen in my life. We're talking about wrestling here, where emotions are high. He had his entire team stand up from the bench and applaud our team, because we were a young program, and we just beat his team, who was league champions the year before. It was the classiest thing I've ever seen on a mat, Coach, so congratulations, because you're the man, by the way. Anyway, a few years later, New York State decided to go Division I, Division II, and we were lucky enough to be a pretty big team in a small pond at that time, and we won that Division II county championship. And I had the honor, the true honor, of being able to coach in the States. And I will tell you, the dream for me was wearing that Section 11 blue and being able to coach in that state tournament. In the last 30 years, I've been to the state tournament 25 times, and mostly as a fan. And it is just the greatest thing in the world. I brought my boys there since they were about 3 or 4 years old, and they knew that that was always the goal. That was the plan, to get there. So, for tonight, I will tell you, when you talk about what wrestling does for people, it gave me my entire life. It gave my boys an amazing childhood, high school career. My wife and I lay in bed and think about all those kid tournaments, all those high school tournaments, and all those moments that are gone now, and their memories and their pictures and their videos, and that's what we look at. And when the coaches tell those guys in the room, this is going to make you a better man, this is going to help you meet every challenge in your life, That's when it really matters. In July, I had my cancer diagnosis. In August, we started the treatment plan. And September, October, November, we did the treatment. It got bad at times. But I can tell you, I had God, I had my family, and I had wrestling. And every single person who texted me said, you're going to get through this, you're going to be fine, you're a wrestler. And I will tell you, honestly, I'm telling every guy in this room, every kid in this room, every girl in this room that wrestles, there's nothing that you can do. Nobody can ever beat you because we don't quit. We never quit, and I wouldn't let it beat me. I'm down 43 pounds, and tonight I'm wearing my son's prom suit. I was blessed with an opportunity to come here tonight and tell you my story because of Don, because of the coaches and the people that care about me. And to tell you that wrestling is real. What we say is real. It makes young boys into men. And it makes the greatest businessmen in the world. Wrestlers are winners, and it made me a winner and it saved my life. So thank you.